Hello and welcome to your reading for the 9th to the 16th Gemini. So I just wanted to share that I'm going to be back to being at my standing desk. I got a lovely compliment from a Leo who meant well, but I think better when I'm on my feet, as I'm sure most people who are athletes do. So let's hop into it. Right now, the sun is in the second decan at the start of the week, moving into the third decan. So for my Geminis, you guys are coming to a place where you see things very clearly. We have to be kind of detached emotionally. The moon is going to have left Cancer and moved into Leo. Eight of Fire, yeah, things happening at a very fast speed. And also it's because we're able to now make decisions from a place of security in ourselves, from not really needing people to approve of us, which I feel like, that is Gemini's superpower, is being able to be authentically themselves and turn off at least the volume on other people, like what they have to say. Page of Water. So this is speaking to a budding romance. Maybe this is like a love of life, genuinely. And I feel that when we're in that vibration of loving our life authentically, we are taking those chances that we otherwise would not take, usually, like taking the long road to get to our destination and smelling the flowers. That's whenever we have the serendipity, the synchronicities that really, they're hard to explain, they're even harder to articulate, but they're things that show you that you're on your right path. Sacred convergence, 11 degrees. So that is speaking to Chiron, which is in Black Moon Lilith, and that's definitely talking to your home life, your family life. And on this moon day, we're looking at Sunday the 9th, the sun being at 19 degrees and the moon being at 2 degrees Leo, it's allowing for you to start communicating about intellectual property in a new way that is very integral, but it's also coming against the nurturing you might have received as a kid. Like you're breaking generational curses because you're starting to turn off that volume knob as to what other people have to say and make authentic decisions for yourself. So let's go to Moon Day. The moon will still be in Leo, and I am out here on the Pacific, so this always happens, but let's just go back about 6 hours. So this is speaking to like Eastern Standard Time. Let's get specific. I gotta read for me because I see things more clearly. Yeah, the moon will be at, 11 degrees Leo. We do have a full moon coming up on the 22nd of June. So right now we are going from this seeding cycle with the new moon that just took place on the 6th. And it's starting to allow for us to tap into our genius of our inner child and how we have characters. I feel like Gemini, you guys have characters that you could play. That's something that's really speaking to me. It's like you're really good at playing a role, at playing a part, but let's make sure that part honors you and your authenticity. In your 5th house, we see the South Node. So you're having to part ways with different ways of believing that you could be yourself in romance, in your creative pursuits. So that could look like a painter starting to take up, what's it called? Whenever you do the yes and, like stand-up comedy, it could look like a stand-up comic starting to do circus, which is like pole dance, aerial silks. It could look like someone who's a bookworm starting to play chess out in the park. It's just, you have to change the way that you relate to society and relate to yourself in order to get the most out of your sense of fulfillment. So I want to read the Dissolving Light from the Rumi deck and then Sacred Convergence, because it seems like things are picking up. So you have to kind of like drop the limiting beliefs. You have to drop the roles that you would play that would cut you off and somehow leave you feeling shortchanged, because there is a new connection or there is a new love of life that you're starting to just feel. It's that time of year in the Northern Hemisphere. It's summertime. So we have Sacred Convergence. Roaming about town, the master was holding a light, saying, I am weary of the demons and the beast. A human is what I am longing for. So this is speaking to all this fake stuff, these people who buy their followers, these people who obey the algorithm, and you're starting to break out of that mold. The human cannot be found. We have searched. What cannot be found is what I am longing for. Although poor and needy, I will not accept small pieces of ruby. The mine of the finest rubies is what I am longing for. One hand holding a cup of wine and the other the curls of the beloved. A dance like this in the middle of the circle is what I'm longing for. Yeah, you guys need to break out of that. You have to break free from whatever you're nurturing female, even if that was a masculine energy. So like a water sign parent, so Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or your actual mom or maternal figure. They might have like beat you over the head with certain indoctrinations that you have to like completely disregard right now in order to start loving your life and to have this like, I felt this like very dense, angry energy coming through. And it's like, if the second that you start being yourself and being raw and authentic and real, and then giving yourself space, physical space, like maybe a studio, maybe you clean out a part of your house that is just storage, and you start to use it as your creative corner and allow for that to start to expand in your life, because it naturally will. We are in a lunar waxing cycle. So the moon in Leo will be steps from the new moon, steps from this new seeding of belief in your ability to be yourself, be your soul in your body as you. Okay. Sacred convergence indicates a coming together of souls in alignment with a greater cause. That's what this feels like, even though we're reading for this 11-degree lunar aspect. It is I who has sought you through the strings of your own heart. Yes, 'twas I hidden beneath every secret, yearning for something more, something full, something special, something all-encompassing. Behind every yearning, always I have hidden. Now I show myself to you, that you may become so filled with the same passionate devotion that I hold for you, that your mind will fall away, overwhelmed by the sheer intensity of love, tossed into an ocean of silent, unending bliss. Cool. So let's look at Mars Day. Mars moves to 1 degree Taurus, and that would be the dissolving light. So we're ready to take actions, Gemini, that is going to put us in a spiritual place, put us in a place where we're listening and honoring our soul's intentions, our soul's motives, and not prioritizing people who would rather just see us live a life that they've designed for us, and there's like messed up brain. It's like, it's giving me that this person who indoctrinated you is not even like in a place to give you information or to give you advice or guidance. So you got to look at the fruits of what people have before you just say, okay, let me just be obedient, because there's a lot of reasons to listen to people and to obey, but then there are also so many more reasons to just be you and authentic. Okay, this oracle brings you guidance. Trust in your changing perspective and perceptions. Don't hold on to what you once believed or thought to be true. Allow yourself to be shown another version of events, another way of perceiving. Don't focus on what is not working in your current estimation of things, for that is nothing more than a passing opinion. Let it be gone. Let's look at Mercury Day. I have a feeling that things will kind of like, you'll start to get into the rhythm of this like vibe of like, you know what? I gotta just turn off the haters and focus on me, because what often happens is all these people who give us guidelines and structure, they think that they're being supportive, but really they're like hemming us in and making us like, I spoke to this in my house discussion, like we might be like this, and then someone really is like this trying to coach us. So you have to look at what they've actually accomplished and, the stories that they tell. If their story is one of poverty, of struggle, of failure, say goodbye. Do not listen to this person. Mercury Day. Mercury is at 19 degrees Gemini, so it's trailing the sun. It's like within a 6-degree orb. Let's look at the inside degrees for this, because it feels like the highlight of the week, or when a lot of action kind of like finally comes to be in your thought process, and this is speaking to liberation. Strange creatures peeking out from behind trees. So for any of you guys who've not watched Snow White, there's a scene where she like runs away from this guy who is chasing her, or he told her to run away from her wicked stepmother, and then she like comes to a landing in the forest, and it's like all these little creatures looking at her, like deers and squirrels and birds. Surprises, destiny shocks, stunning events present a way to evolve rapidly for the daring and the wild. Whatever you assume and prepare for, the moment shall be different. Nothing is meant to be straightforward here. You must be kept on the alert, prompted, beguiled, tricked, anything to help you leap off. The biggest trick is to identify consciously with an innocent. youthful, almost hopelessly ingenuous persona. So this is the characters I'm speaking to. You could play Snow White on Wednesday, like literally speak in that voice. Make yourself feel silly and free. I love it. I did something like that. I was like singing and, you know, singing about this painting that my thumb is pointing towards. And it's just like having that energy is so generative. It's so healing and nurturing to our inner child, which for you guys is in the sign of balance, in the sign of partnership. Like you need someone to bounce off of, especially being a Gemini, who you could just be yourself with, even if that's yourself in your own reflection in the mirror. Magnetize a destiny that would never come to such a basic kind of person. This way, the edge, the tension, the joke is perfectly poised. And I told you jokes, so you might need to do some stand-up comedy and see how much you're liked just for being really goofy. Stretch far enough to trip you up in every time. The greater self finds its ways to get at a little self who wants to hide in safe spaces, when instead a much larger destiny is in the works, which insists upon knocking at your door, preferably a back door or a side door, to jump right in, scare the living daylights out of you, and wake you up for the next scintillating adventure along a vast and unlimited spectrum. Okay, so Jupiter Day, that's gonna definitely, it's like you're launching, and it's like, I see this like if you've ever thrown one of those javelins, this is what this feels like. Thursday is gonna knock it out of the park. It's at an Aquarian degree, and that is in your 9th house of beliefs. So it's like your beliefs are going to be larger than life, whether for better or worse. And it's really going to choke you up if you're not coming into your authentic self and still trying to people please. Like that would be you guys out of integrity, because it's like you do need someone to balance things out with. Like you do need someone to be your yeah, it's disappointing because it's like this person who you've been looking to so long for approval, they really don't see things clearly. Like they're delusional about the truth. And I'm saying this because I have like family members who speak to this energy, and I know it for a fact that like there are certain things that you just can't do. And this is speaking again to that Monday experience, having the strength. Can you see my strength painting? I'm so excited about this. I gotta show you guys. So it's early, but I will be making a tarot deck, and this is my strength card. It's Josephine Baker as this Betty Boop character before she was whitewashed, and the leopard doesn't have any spots. But it's speaking to being able to be detached from this encounter with someone who really does not get it. They don't get you, and that's okay. You gotta just move on. It's fine, but it's not gonna feel fine. It's gonna feel definitely like a moment where you're like, you could get washed away if you're not ready to just be like completely free. So please watch this before Thursday, because you're gonna have a breakdown that breaks you through, but it's gonna come at a cost if you're not doing this work. Yeah, detach, lehua, 39. Beliefs and actions have to be balanced out from you to you. And then if there's someone who is actually like positively mirroring you, they're going to fortify this ability to be detached and to still enjoy your life just as you need to magnetize the life that you are seeking. Lehua is initiation. E kapoho eho I a noho I ku kuahu ho ulu ia. O Capo, return and dwell in your altar that is given growth. Capo has a vagina that can detach from the rest of her body and fly. Sometimes Capo is referred to the mother of Laka, but their relationship is not like the traditional mother and child relationship. Instead, they are related as a breath of emanation. The two are said to be one in spirit through their names, though their names are two. Laka has been described as a woman suspended in air, face upward, tossing this way and that, her limbs outspread, her voice choked. She is the fondled sacred one, the earth left over in the making. Her womb holds multitudes upon multitudes in the uplands and the sea. It's a single family that springs from her womb. She is the impregnated one, the fertilized, from whom descended generations of offspring, the family of Laka, fruitful as the stalk. So I would even say that, okay, so let's listen to this. An expert is one who has developed the ability to draw upon his or her inner resources to accomplish amazing feats, usually as a result of a process of initiation. Initiation may come in many forms, such as proving your ability in battle, in the mastery of a skill such as fishing or canoeing, in an art form such as hula, or in a subject such as medicine. Initiation may also come as the result of an ending of one stage of life and the beginning of another. As you undergo initiation, it is common to experience anxiety. Remember that initiation comes only after much preparation, practice, and discipline, and only when you are ready. As you complete your initiation, be sure to see yourself as you are, not as you were. Be patient with those who are undergoing an initiation process, including yourself. Hawaiian wisdom tells us that it is gentleness that brings forth much of what you desire. So the Strength card is also speaking to this gentleness with yourself for being in integrity and having to say no, having to have boundaries, which maybe you've never been able to have boundaries. Right now, Pluto is in your 9th house of belief, so it's like, my Geminis, you're going to have to really come into a place where you feel confident enough in who you are and who you're becoming. Even this character that you're playing for now, and like going out and trying stand-up comedy, because it's going to actually move you into a place where you sincerely feel it. And I've experienced that too. And I listened to a light worker say that, like, you know, there's some things that, like, deep loathing, a deep self-hatred, a deep sense of unworthiness to even be alive is something that we have to really face and look at. And what I feel is this dissolving light, I don't even know if I read this yet, but it's like we're going to come to see and hold ourselves in a new way if we are showing up and allowing for ourselves to detach from this toxic maternal energy that is not in a place to even give you guidance right now. But then Pluto is moving through your 9th house of belief, so it's making sure that you actually believe in the things that you're doing and you're not just parroting what someone's telling you to do. Because that's not a life. That's you letting someone borrow your life and live through you vicariously, which leads to a lot of shame, guilt, remorse, anger, dissatisfaction. So Saturn day, Saturn is at 19 degrees and 15 seconds, so we are manifesting something really creative from a spiritual place, so that's in your career. And it's going to look different for every Gemini, but it feels like you guys are coming into a place of very concrete destiny. Destiny is coming up loud, integrity, and that will have been established from Monday to, I believe it's Jupiter day, where you have this breakdown of, like, let's say, for instance, you go into the cabinet and you're out of oats and that's all you eat. You make your overnight oats every day. And then you're like, oh, well, I also have cereal, like some cereal that I've never even looked at and noticed. And like now you have to eat cereal, which is like this breakdown of disappointment of your regularly scheduled program. But you're like, well, how can I make this cereal taste like my overnight oats? I could still steep the chia seeds in milk overnight. I could still add my raisins and, you know, berries and then add that to my cereal. You might not like it at first, but it might be something that after you do it for so long, after you run out of that box of cereal, you're like, I don't know if I need oats. I feel a lot lighter. I feel a lot more fit eating this cereal that I have. So on Saturn day, it's going to be, let's see what this is. There isn't an exact aspect that Jupiter and Mars are forming at 4 degrees, but the 4s are speaking to this like reverberation, and there's even that vertex, not vertex, but part of fortune at 4 degrees Scorpio. So it's like we're going to have like this sense of what the father and the mother have taught us throughout our lifetimes, kind of breaking through to create something that is authentic come Saturn day, if it hasn't happened before then. And it might take that long, but it might take you that long to actually like find an open mic that you want to go to, and you sit there a couple times, and then on Saturday you're like, you know what, I'll sign up for next week. That's just my example for you all's reading. So come Sunday, sun will be at 26 degrees Gemini. That feels really exciting. It feels very compelling. I feel like you guys are going to come into a sense of like you've made decisions, because I'm reading this on the 17 degree sun in Gemini day. Yes, Kali Yantra. It feels like you have a direction. It's very clear on this Sunday. It feels like, you know, like you've come into a place of self-satisfaction, believing in yourself. The North and the South Node move a degree, so you've come out of this like entanglement with someone who you love, who you've been trying to please, who you've been like pleasing at the cost of satisfying your own soul. Kali Yantra. Shouts out to the big body high priestess who got me to even get this deck. Kali Yantra is particular. It's a signifier of the downward flow of grace. It is oriented to the material world and all matters related. It is the cosmic trip switch for spiritual energy to be attracted towards Earth. It unveils the divine luminosity between appearances and, when needed, heals and transforms material reality to align with higher divine will. The yantra of Kali is alchemical and reconstructive. The healing that can emerge through it is unrestricted because she is the spacious vastness of primordial being. She is the birth of all phenomena, which permeates all phenomena and can transform it all according to her divine will. In a reading, this indicates a transformation of a physical concern, so it aligns with the spiritual will of the universe. Oh, cool. So I spoke to generative energy. The downward-facing triangular formations in the center of the yantra symbolize the regenerative power of the divine feminine. You only have to look at how our Earth Mother recovers after fire, flood, and famine to recognize the wisdom, power of the divine feminine to renew and to restore even after tremendous destruction. The color red is the blood red fire of life force, Kali's preferred fuel for destruction and rebirth. Gray represents the liminal realms, so dream time, neither black of night nor the brightness of day, but the place in between. Many cultures recognize this as the medial realm, a place where magic is most potent. Although Kali is associated with waning moon cycles and darkest night, she is also a medial goddess, a soul doula, a birth and death mother, safely guiding us through the transitions and thresholds of our inner and outer lives. In a reading, this indicates that there's a power in feeling as though you no longer belong to the past, nor are anchored fully in a new way. Kali will manifest her will in the spaces of unknowing, molding and guiding you from within, so your path will be fulfilling to your heart. Gemini, this is your reading for June 9th through the 16th. Please leave me a comment about what's going on for you. You know I love to hear it. And your June readings are up. I have daily astrology, and you can always book a personal reading with me, all linked below. Sending you guys so much aloha. Bye.